Kazaya with AllnDaKards, coming to do another Y series, right? So this Y series I'm doing just bright and shiny early in the morning, family. After I just did the message for the new moon, right? It went out to say thank you to the new moon for the energy, for the cycle, for the phase that it is bringing in, right? I hope that you do that as well. But let's get to why, right? This is a series in reference of our suicidal cases, right? I would like to say, if you're new to the channel and new to this segment, please go back and watch some of the other ones that are within this segment that I've been doing of all the suicidal cases. Some celebrities, some not, right? It doesn't matter who it is. It's those that have left this planet by their hands or sometimes by someone else's, okay? And being shown as that, all right? So, with this being said, today, as in any other day, if you do have any suicidal thoughts or you need help at this time from any cell phone, 988 is the number, as well as 1-800-SUICIDE. The link for the suicide website and the line will be below this box. Please, please, please get any help that you need, all right? And we love you and you need to be here. You are worthy. Know that, all right? Now, today's case that we're looking at, we're taking it back old school, family. We're looking at Mr. Paul Williams, all right? Mr. Paul Williams was one of the Temptations, okay? Original Temptations, right? If you watch the Temptation movie, as they have shown us in depicting some of the events that went on in the Temptations career and situation, he was the one that they shown did suicide in the car, killed himself in his car after he left his girlfriend's house, they said. But the family, as I've researched, has always questioned it because the gun was shot twice that was left beside him, and he was only shot once. Now, the other part of that was the gun, they said, was a wound of his head on the left side, but the gun it was something about the left side versus the right, where the right hand, I think it was the right hand, and they said he shot himself in the left side of his head. So how could that happen? So the family put that out there. I don't know, because I wasn't, I love the Temptations, you know what I'm saying? But I wasn't born. But guess what? Mr. Paul Williams, and while I was meditating over him and speaking to him in spirit, because everything here is a spiritual reading, okay? But his birthday is the same as mine. July the 2nd is his birthday, all right? We just have different years, all right? And so he is, he was very, I got my notes, family. Y'all know I write my notes out about the people that I do, right? So let me pull up my notes for Mr. Paul Williams. But yeah, I did remember that first and foremost, that his birthday was the same as mine, okay? So Mr. Paul Williams, suicide in the car. He was the baritone, honey, of the Temptations, okay? I'm drinking my herbal tea this morning. Now, on his chart and on his soul, family, Mr. Paul Williams had a lot going on. First thing first, he had sickle cell. He was a very sickly man. And he had respiratory issues. He was also suffering from alcoholism, right? And so forth. They said he would drink like 2 or 3/5 of Cavassier in one setting. So that was extreme, right? And I know that had to be very extreme on his body and his mental, right? And so he dealt with that. Plus he dibbled and dabbled with illegal drugs, you know. He also was, I'm not going to say a womanizer, but he did do adultery, okay? And adultery is also looked at as a sin, okay? Because he was married with children and he had a whole nother girlfriend that they said was a hairstylist of the Supremes. That's all I know. I was like, oh, the good juice, okay? But rest in peace, Mr. Paul Williams. You know, we don't do no judgment over here. I'm just telling your story of what I seen online and I'm seeing in your chart, okay? And then we're going to let him speak through the cards, okay? Mr. Paul Williams had a lot of hidden secrets, family. He hid a lot of stuff from people. That's why a lot of people probably didn't even realize that, you know, what he was doing or going through, right? And he hid about the alcohol and the drugs a lot. He may have even hid some things around molestations and so forth. He definitely had a lot of moon energy. Okay, a lot of deception, a lot of things that he deceived, you know, maybe even lying to his wife behind the adultery because he had the affair with the lady. But there was a lot here around that. He had a single out after he left the Temptations called Feel Like Going On. Feel Like Going On. I know you remember that song, Feel Like Going On. That song was good. I mean that was back in the day, but I mean I've heard it through that movie. Yeah, he had a lot of emotional secrets, okay? And he had a lot of things around money that was he kept to himself too. He had a big, you know, situation around money and finances, his home life. He did a lot of lying, family. A lot of lying, okay? He had a lot of Scorpio energy, Venus energy here, where he loved to love people and he loved to be loved on. But within all of that, he did a lot of lying to the women that was in his life, a lot of, you know, things like that, right? He had a lot of resentment towards the Temptations and the rest of the crew because of he couldn't, you know, be in the group and so forth. And, you know, they were getting into some type of contractual arguments and things of that sort. He had some childhood trauma too, family, okay? A lot of childhood trauma. Things, like I said, he may have been molested when he was a child. He may not have ever been able to get over that. You know, it may have been some things around predatory, you know, situations with him. You know, we just don't know what people hold on to. You know what I'm saying? That pushes them. But on the other part of that, you know, where the family felt like there was some type of, you know, misconception in how he was in the car and got shot on one side, but the gun was on the right side or whatever, right? They feel like it could have been something behind some type of affair or woman or something of that sort. Maybe they felt like somebody wanted to do some harm to Mr. Williams. I don't know. And we're going to have to just ask him to speak to us and let us know which way it go. Because as we know, in these why segments, they're going to tell us exactly what it is through the cards, allegedly. But with spirit don't lie. Okay? So now that we know all of the aspects of Mr. Williams, right? He passed on August 17th in Detroit, okay? But he was originally from, and that was his fate, okay? His fate was in reference of passing on because of some type of hidden secrets. Hidden secrets. I told you guys, the demise and the karma of Mr. Williams was behind some emotional secrets and around, you know, trauma and him not being truthful about some things, deception and things like that. That was his demise. His fate and his karma came that way. It's in his chart. Okay? So let's see. He also had respiratory issues. You know, a lot of issues within. But one thing's for sure, two things for certain. He had the will to be able to turn it the way that he, you know, the way that he could have got out of this. You know, he could have changed things for himself. But remember that Jupiter energy is also about a gift and a curse, right? Because it's the wheel of fortune. You could turn that wheel this way or you could turn it the other way for yourself. So, and with all the deception and things that's lying on him, family, and it's around him being a husband and somebody's boyfriend. So, let's look in the cards and see what Mr. Williams has to say about this situation of what's went wrong with him, okay? Because we got all what the ancestors wanted us to know about him. But let's look at the words of truth. I don't know where my front thing is for my words of truth. Is in here somewhere, family. Right now is Venus hour, honey. It's a Venus hour right now, family. Is this it? No, that's not it. Let me sit my tea over here, family. We'll get started with the cards, okay? And he had a lot of sorrows and regrets, family. He was also very, very lustful in reference of sexual energy too, okay? Mr. Lust may have been also a contribution to his passing as well, because of all the adultery and the things that he did with other women and while he was married and all of that. That also could have caused some type of living conditions, a shortness of his lifespan because of his home life, and the things that he did. The deception was all about the deception for him, and the things, and that became an affliction. Okay? And with all the illnesses and the things he had going on in his life, he should have shifted that energy. But it's okay. No judgment here. Let's go in and let's put on some of my protection oil. You can find this oil out on my website, AllnDaKards.com. Protection oil I use and has many, many herbs in it, okay? It is packed with herbs and it sits on my altar. So my ancestors, okay, helps consecrate this protection oil. So we're going to put some of that on us, all right? Put some up here on my head, back, portal, all right? And we're going to call Mr. Paul Williams from the Temptations Inn to tell his story to us, family, on why he may have done this to himself, or if somebody did it to him. So let's call in Mr. Williams, okay? Mr. Williams. Paul Williams, we ask you come in now and tell your story. Mr. Williams from the Temptations. We ask that you come in now. And sisters, put a hedge of protection, a bubble of love around us before we go into the cards. We ask for the protection. We ask for your love, your guidance. We come to you wholeheartedly, Mr. Williams, with peace, healing energy, with love. And we ask that you tell your story now, Mr. Williams. We just ask that you tell your story. Speak through the divination of the cards, Mr. Williams, because we want to know the truth. We ask that you bring nothing but the truth, Mr. Williams. Speak nothing but the truth. All right? Ancestors, allow it to happen and put a hedge of protection while we go into this message. Ashe, ashe, ashe. That's our prayer. All right, so let's shuffle these cards. Yeah, Mr. Williams definitely had a lot of things happening. I feel like Mr. Williams had a lot of childhood trauma that really caused him to not be able to get past some things, family. Some, like I said, it could have been molestation, could have been multiple things that happened to him in his childhood, right? And then all of that on top of that, the lust, and him doing adultery and all of these things may have been hidden things, That's why ancestors always say is you have to repent for those things that you hide, because those things can be your demise, okay? Mr. Paul Williams, come through. Tell us your story of what truly happened that led up to you in that car, and what happened in that car, Mr. Williams. What happens? Show us through the cards. Be truthful and give us what you want us to know truthfully and with clarity. Ashe. Let's go. Mr. Williams. Paul Williams, Mr. Paul Williams, come through the cards. Speak to us, Mr. Williams, on what truly happened to you. What was it that made you unalive yourself or someone else? All right, here we go. Legal drugs. He was taking those legal drugs. We already talked about the legal drugs and the illegal drugs that he was taking, right? So the legal drugs that he was taking, he was taking medication. Remember, he had sickle cell. He was having respiratory systems issues. They said he had the oxygen tank or machine. So that means his respiratory was already messed up, family. There was some things going on mentally. So we already knew this before we pulled the cards. So ancestors is showing us again that yes, legal drugs contributed to this, okay? Now let's get to the cards. Gifts, giving and receiving. Mr. Williams, Paul Williams, had you know, there was some things around. This is the Six of Coins. He felt like he was becoming a charity case. He was feeling like he was becoming where he couldn't give what he was truly wanting to give. He, at one time, he had all the money he wanted. You know what I'm saying? When he was in the Temptations, he probably was able to have all the money he wanted, and he was probably able to pay it forward or help other people or even give other people gifts and receive big gifts, right? But at one point in his life, and at this point of his life, leading up to that situation, family, he felt like he no longer was getting what he wanted to receive in the gifts. The Six of Coins, giving and receiving. He felt like what he put out, he wasn't getting back. He also, with the Six of Coins, you know, you see the person giving, you know, on the normal right away, it's like you're getting penny pinch something, right? So he felt that. He may have even felt that in reference of someone he had a bond with, family, because bond is underneath the gifts. It's underneath the giving and receiving. So he also felt that who he had a bond with, they wasn't doing the giving and receiving in return, and he couldn't do it as well, right? Or that it was something around the giving and receiving. It could have even been around something that he gave or someone gave him that he was bonding with. But it was some type of negativity in his mind around the gifts. And maybe it was that he wanted to give some gifts to the ones that he bonded with or had a bond with, or he may have even received a gift from those that he bonded with, right? And it made him feel some type of way, family, is what I'm feeling here, right? Now, something unexpected happened for Mr. Williams during that time leading up to his demise. Something unexpected by a secret society, family. Something unexpected by the powers that be, he's saying. Something unexpected in reference of those gifts and who he may have had a bond with as well, because this is how it sits in the spread. So I have to look across, right? The powers that be that gave him a gift at one time that he had a bond with. You see how that comes out in the spread, family? See how you have to read it across and over? Something unexpectedly with the bond, unexpectedly with this person he had a bond with, which was the powers that be. Now, the powers that be is either a secret society, could be somebody in the industry, could be whoever. It's a secret group of people that do things that aren't always great, okay? Y'all know what it means, okay? Okay, on here it says secret society, deep state, the powers that be. Something popped up unexpectedly, all right? And it affected Mr. Paul Williams' mental health, okay? Unexpectedly, with whatever he was given and whatever he was expecting to receive, family, it affected his mental health, he said. It affected it. And it was all because he was cut off of something. Health issues. Something was cut off. Something was cut off that affected, because surgery means cut off, cut into, medical procedure, treatment, health issues resolved. So he may have, we do know he had some mental issues. This is what this is saying. Mr. Paul Williams had mental health issues, big time, leading up to this situation. And now I want you to pay attention to the colors. The mental health, because you know my deck for, words of truth are color coded. So it's the energy within that contributes to each one of these words, okay? So the mental health that was happening with Mr. Paul Williams was contributed by the powers that be. They was messing with his mind, ancestors are saying. You see what I'm saying? They drove him to feel some type of way, family. This man was once on top. And see, that's the thing. When you in the industry, when you dealing with these powers that be, sometimes it ain't that they literally shoot you bang, bang. And sometimes they do. But sometimes they mess with your mind. Because remember, I always tell you, when they got your mind, they got you. You see? And so the powers that be energy is the same as the mental health. So something with Mr. Paul Williams and something about a secret group of people or a secret society or the powers that be, those that rule contracts and all of the things that he was once attached to, created some type of mental instability, emotional secrets that was hidden, unstable emotions that he was going through. All of this is showing that Mr. Paul Williams, it was contributed to that. And something unexpected happened. And this situation caused him to be cut off from some type of gifts and giving and the receiving, even money. Because the Six of Coins is about your finances. So he was cut off from his finances from this who? Powers that be. And that messed with Mr. Paul's mental. You see? And all of this was unexpected to him because he felt he had that bond. But he was fooled. That's how he felt. Some of them felt that he was just not right in the mind, but he was already taking legal drugs and prescriptions. You see the RX here, he was taking prescription drugs. And some of this, you know, the cutoff and the things like that, where he was cut off with the money and the giving and the receiving that he used to receive, he couldn't even get his prescriptions. So that may have affected his mental health. He may have been taking something for the mental, right? And if you cut off, you can't even get that. So then that will drive you to do things that are unexpected, right? Because of the sorrows and the regrets and the things, right? Can all start messing with your mental health, family. Come on, Mr. Williams. Speak to us. Clarify this, and because I see what's happening. And I know you guys see what's happening. This may have been some type of suicide because of what he's showing me here, that he had a bond with somebody in this powers that be, somebody who was in control of something that was supposed to be given to him. Somebody, a bond with the powers that be, that cut him off. And it created him to have an unexpected situation with what he was wanting to receive. And it messed with his mental health. Clarity on the gifts that's here, Mr. Williams. What was in these gifts? The giving and the receiving. What is it that was happening in reference of that led up to your demise? What led up to your demise in reference of these gifts that you're trying to let us know about, Mr. Williams? Clarity, clear and concise on what you wanted us to know. Tell your story, Mr. Williams. Mr. Paul Williams, what's up with the gifts? Ashe. The tree of life. Now, what keeps ringing to me and what he keeps saying is he just had gave his wife or someone a house or a home, or someone just got a house or somebody just got a home. And the tree of life is someone in his family. And he did this based off of some type of self-defense. Self-defense means to protect yourself or in your defense. You know what I'm saying? That the tree of life, the giving and receiving. See, Mr. Paul Williams is saying something about the tree of life and the giving and receiving. He couldn't, in his defense, he couldn't do what he wanted to do in reference of the giving and receiving to his tree of life, to his family. He wanted to still be able to provide for his family. This is what it's saying. He wanted to provide for his family. And some of the giving and receiving that he thought that he was going to receive from the family, there was someone or something that guarded themselves from that as well. You see? Self-defense, the tree of life, and the gifts. Definitely something, a reference of giving the tree of life something about being able to provide. Being in the tree of life didn't do the same for him, is what he's saying. Give me the bond. Why is the bond here, Mr. Paul Williams? Thank you for speaking your truth. Thank you for showing us through the cards, Mr. Williams. Why is the bond here for you? Malicious. Whoever this is that he had a bond with, promiscuous. Okay. Here we go. Somebody he had a bond with. Now, remember he was married. Remember the adultery. was malicious towards him. Someone he's saying that he had a bond with, family, was malicious. Okay? This person he had a bond with could have been in the tree of life. Someone he usually was giving and receiving to, or was receiving something from. Okay? And it's all behind some promiscuous behavior. So if he had a bond with this person and they were being malicious behind him having some type of promiscuous energy, that could have been that adultery situation. And somebody find out and somebody did not like it. And somebody was doing some malicious things or could have done a malicious thing to Mr. Williams. Or this could be him telling us that he did do some promiscuous things and behaviors, being malicious towards who he has a bond with. It could go vice versa. Let's keep digging. Mr. Williams, what is this unexpected that's here? Mr. Paul Williams, why is this unexpected here? In reference of what went on with you up until and while you was in that car, in reference of them saying you unalived yourself. Why is the unexpected here, Mr. Williams? The tower moment. This is when it happened. The tower moment. All things fell down is what I'm hearing. Delay. Because it was a delay in something. See, Mr. Williams is saying he was waiting on something to happen, but there was a delay. There was something that didn't come through from him when he thought it was supposed to come through. There was a delay in some things. And so unexpectedly, which is the same energy, right? It's something unexpected in the tower is the same energy, family. So he's telling us double it. You know, it was like a lightning bolt. It was like a tower moment unexpectedly happened. All right. And it could have been that this unexpected tower moment was caused by somebody he had a bond with being malicious. See that malicious in red? That's blood. Somebody being malicious, bringing straight blood energy, rage, aggressiveness to this person that he had a bond with. Let's look at this powers that be. Keep speaking, Mr. Williams. We hear you. Keep speaking, Mr. Williams. Mr. Paul Williams. We seeing you healing energy for this energy I'm seeing here. Mr. Paul Williams, this powers that be. Let us know, Mr. Williams, about this powers that be. Jealous. Ooh. And he had trust. So whoever was in this secret society and in this group that he trusted, cut him off. Same energy. Cut him off. And he trusted them. They even was someone that may have even been in the tree of life or connected to the tree of life that gave and received. He gave and received to them, or they gave and received to him. But it's the same energy. Look at the gifts. Look at the trust. See, we look at everything in the spread. But Mr. Paul Williams says somebody he trusted was in the powers that be that cut him off. And they were jealous. They were jealous. Mr. Paul Williams said they was jealous. They was jealous of my singing. They was jealous of my women. That's what I'm hearing him say. They were jealous. And I trusted them. I trusted them. Why is mental health here, Mr. Williams? Why is mental health here, Mr. Williams? Mr. Paul Williams, we call on you to bring in the message today, please. Why is the mental health here for you? Why is the mental health here for you? Why is the mental health here for you? Mind games. He's speaking. Speak, Mr. Williams. Ashe. Ashe. Caretaker. Now, who would be his caretaker? A caretaker. Played with his mind. Played with his mental health. He's speaking. Somebody played with this man's mind. Mind games, he said, on the mental health. It's the same energy. It's the same energy. And whoever it was in this powers that, or connected to the powers that be. Same energy. Showing jealous, playing mind games, cut them off. Brought in these unexpected tower moments that created this instability with this man. Pain and sorrow. This man was upset. This man is saying they were considered his caretaker. Was the caretaker the same one that he was supposed to be given something from that was in the tree of life? Tree of life could be anybody in the family. Brother, mother, sister, uncle, cousin, whoever, wife, husband, whoever. You know. Speak, Mr. Williams. Speak. He said, play mind games with me. He said, play mental and mind games. Said he even tried to put it off on my mental. But they were playing mind games. He said they tried to put it off on my mental health, but they played mind games. Whoever this caretaker is, I shaded you, Mr. Williams. And we can look at that. What's behind it? They abandoned him. Whoever this caretaker is, and I'm going to leave that caretaker out because I want to clarify that caretaker. Give me the surgery. What happened? What did you have to have surgery? You might have even had to have surgery, because this is a card about health issues being resolved as well. We knew he had many health issues. Even alcoholism could be looked at as mental, some type of health issue. And remember, he said that it was about his mental health and the mind games and with playing with this man's mind. That's why that man has so much deception going on around him as well. You know what I'm saying? As much as he had to put out, and what he was getting back was definitely the energy of somebody cutting him off, he's saying. Give me the surgery, Mr. Paul Williams. You speaking today. Something flew out. Let's see. They chose him. This was same energy, family. Look at this. Mr. Paul Williams is speaking. They chose him to be elected. To be elected. They said, yes, to be elected, we're going to use him. I'm hearing sacrifice, sacrificial lamb, because they already knew he wasn't stable. Give it to us, Mr. Williams. Surgery. Why surgery here, Mr. Williams? Why surgery here? Give us the surgery. What's with the surgery? Cut off, cut into, health issues? What you trying to say, Mr. Williams? Speak to us through the cards, Mr. Williams. The phone. Somebody cut off communication within some weeks or days within him doing this situation. Somebody cut off something, and it could have been this caretaker. This caretaker is the same color, family, as the bond. Pink, heart chakra. Somebody he loved was being malicious, cut off communication. He had a bond with this caretaker. Whoever this was being malicious towards Mr. Williams in his last days, in the last week or so before he took himself out, or before they took him out. And this is all behind some jealousy. Look at the same colors. The unexpected situation, the tower moment, is the same color as the week or the days, family. Something happened unexpectedly within the last week, the last days of Mr. Williams being here on this planet. Clarify the caretaker, Mr. Williams. You speaking. Thank you for telling your story. I can't take all of those. Look at how many he gave us. Let's see what flew out. Let's see, but the communication was cut off. Let's see. Legal drugs again. His soul, his higher self is saying this, that he was on some legal drugs prescriptions. Somebody he had a fight with. Okay? Somebody he had a fight with. There was some neglect. He was neglected. He had some type of conflict going on with this air energy, family. Somebody crossed the line. The boundaries was crossed, family. Somebody said, I'm going to get you back. Return the sender. This was a female. And look at what this female color is. Caretaker. Speak, Mr. Williams. Karma. Somebody delivered him karma. The industry. Fated relationship. The goodbye. Because of a fated relationship, he's saying goodbye. That was the goodbye because of a fated relationship. They locked him up, locked him down, restricted him. And this is the warning. Speak Speak, Mr. Williams. Mr. Williams speaking, family. Mr. Williams saying this is what's going on. Y'all see it. This might have not been no suicide again. Here we go. Right? And I'm feeling female energy here. Somebody who was upset with him may have been through a female. You know what I'm saying? You know, the powers that be, right? Could have been something sent to him through a jealous female. The communication was cut off with the phone that's here. Look at the abandoned. Same color, phone in the abandoned communication. See, somebody cut off communication because he was trying to talk to someone. He wanted to speak to someone, but they abandoned him. You see that? Speak, Mr. Williams. Why is the caretaker here? Because we seen you just threw out the female and all of that. So we kind of seeing that this was some female that you had a bond with. Did a female take you out, Mr. Williams? Sent to you by the caretaker? I mean, by the powers that be, Mr. Williams? Damn, Mr. Williams, your vices. Caretaker, Mr. Williams. What happened with this caretaker? This caretaker was in the club. He might have even met this caretaker in the club. See? Yeah. This is about, sorry, the TV, this is about when I get the clothes is material items, worldly possessions. So somebody in this club that he gave worldly possessions to is the caretaker. The club could be this person he met in a club, maybe when he was singing or whatever, or this could have been a person that is in a group of people, a club. This caretaker is attached to somebody in a club that is about his earthly possessions or was about earthly possessions. Could have been about some clothes or house or cars or things like that, you see? Thank you, Mr. Williams. Now, show us what happened in this unexpected tower moment for you, Mr. Williams. Show us what happened in this unexpected tower moment for you. What can you show us in the cards about this unexpected tower moment? Mr. Williams, tell your story of what happened in this tower moment with you within that car situation. What is it that happened in this unexpected tower? Mr. Williams, speak. Addiction to a sexual partner and to sex. He had addiction to sex. So you know what that makes me feel? Look at this malicious in this bond of whoever his sexual partner was or whoever he was having sex with. Somebody, I feel this was a female, ancestors is saying, that was connected to Mr. Williams in reference of this person he may have even met in a club, family, that Mr. Williams had an addiction to sex, lust. Remember I told you that from the beginning? He had a sexual addiction. Yeah. And this could have brought his demise, whoever he was sexing, messaging, communicating with, that he may have even cut off communication with. All behind being jealous. Playing mind games with this mental and chose him to do this destructive situation. And it was a tower moment. An unexpected situation, family. This was a surprise to him. And it may have been that he was dibbling and dabbling with this person or whoever or whatever the situation was. Or maybe the unexpected was based off of his addiction. The unexpected situation could have happened because of his addiction. Can you give us a little bit more clarity into that unexpected tower and addiction? Show us, did it contribute to you taking yourself off of this planet? Or did someone else do this to you, Mr. Williams? Speak. I'm going to put the last few cards because we're getting a lot out of the message. Whoever knows him needs clarity, confirmation, or closure. Or you may know the story. Could be family. We see what's going on here. But show us, Mr. Williams, through the last cards. What are you trying to tell us about this situation? on you leaving this planet. Show us, Mr. Williams, Mr. Paul Williams from the Temptations. What happened? Oh, this the words of truth. He telling me it's the words of truth. Remember I told y'all I couldn't find it? He said this is going to be the words of truth you get ready to get. Tell us, Mr. Williams. Accident. Somebody made it look ritual. To create another copy of him. Judgment. Celebration. They celebrated this. This was made to look like a situation, family, is what I'm getting. He's telling us. Jealous and the judgment and the rituals are the same color. Can you give us the last energy around this? Was this something that the powers that be did? Those that you signed that contract with, did they want to create another you? Is that what you're saying? They wanted to do, they did this as a ritual on you and made it look like an accident? Is that what you're saying, Mr. Williams? We're going to pull it. Because remember, we got the club. And a caretaker can also be, you know, the industry, right? Because they was taking care of him for a little period of time. Made it look like an accident, an error. But it was truly a ritual to make another clone copy of him. Remember, they got another guy after him. And this was a judgment made by the who? Powers that be that was jealous of him. Remember, we got this on the jealous, and this is the same color as the rituals. Same color as the judgment day, judgment of him. Same color as the unexpected. We got to go by the colors. That's the energy. Powers that be elected him to do this to. Played mind games and made it look like his mental health. And it could have been. Because he did have the issues, but they knew that. And they knew how it was going to look as well. Made it look like that tower moment was because of his addictions. See? It made that tower moment look like it was because of his addictions. Speak, Mr. Williams. What's your last message? And we're going to wrap it up. What's your last message in reference of the powers that be and those that may have done something that we question? What is your message to give us the closure on what truly happened to you, Mr. Williams? What is the last message? This is your last time to be able to tell us, Mr. Williams. Speak. A mask. Somebody wearing a mask and not telling us exactly what it truly is. There's some faking, not authentic, he's saying. This is about somebody faking. What's on the bottom? Media. The media don't know. Escape. Court. What else, Mr. Williams? The trickster, the magician in reverse. So there was some other outside entity in reference of some type of legal situation that wanted to escape that and is wearing a mask. When somebody wears a mask, they're not being authentic, and they're not being authentic because they are the trickster. See? He telling us. So there was some type of situation, that harmed him. See? Speak, Mr. Williams, and got a prize. When this come out, we already know. They don't get prizes for doing your own offering, family. That's not how it works. But I already knew when I seen this. Yeah. So I'm going to leave it there. Thank you, Mr. Williams. We see exactly what you're trying to tell us in depth. All right? So not only, and it could have been through a woman, right? He had his vices, right? Yeah. And the family surely had questions. Mr. Williams, we thank you for bringing all the energy and all the messages through, because you truly spoke today. Thank you. We send you back with healing, peace. Okay? We send you back with love. We ask that you rest in power and that you get the justice that is needed in reference of anything that may have happened. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude to the ancestors and to you. Ashe. We send you back with love. All right, family. So you know what this is. This is the ending of why. And he told his story. Make it a be of what you think, right? Everything is all allegedly in these videos. This is a spiritual reading. All right? Nothing here is factual. Believe what you want to believe. All right? All right. So, family, I love you guys through the darkness to the light. Until the next time, if you need any help, you know what the link is below this box. 1-800-SUICIDE. Don't do it. We love you. We need you here. Continue to be on your purpose here in life. Ashe. And so it is. It's all in these cards, family. It's all in these cards. Peace. And thank you, Mr. Williams. Mr. Williams from the Temptations. I feel like going on. I think that was his song. He said he felt like going on. But sometimes when you feel like going on, some people use that to their advantage. So be careful with your words. Your tongue have life and death in it. All right? I love you guys. Peace.
Gratitude for the sunshine. Gratitude for the moonlight. Every day feels like a new life.